In the divorce between media and education, we have entertainment and people who enjoy something approve of it. What McCartney has done with the foreign English has left Gail Burston at large. She organized a rather large chain gang in Pittsburgh with the help of Sheriff Cahill, and there were a number of people involved. The East End District, number 5 police station, Commander Joyce. Well, to understand the lack of scruples of Allegheny County is to understand the mess that union economics makes of public education through the entertainment business. They rob each other of lunch money and so on. They have big allies in the studios like Eastwood and Sheen. I mean, it's a very real official operation that they're pulling. And there's a lot of anecdotes that come to mind and disappear because they're obscure. It might not be a bad idea to um, consolidate some of the facets of the problem for study. And two faces exist in many academic personas. And administration can attempt to enforce those two faces as an agreement. But there still is a system of checks and balances that can prevail under peer review and legal scrutiny. So there's, for example, a field of study of anthropology pertaining to the children of the nightmare in Germany, which is in living memory of some of our old folks. And the way that they adapted to war blame by changing the discourse so that the Germans seemed worthy. And my father paid an ultimate price for refusing to comply. He suggested I try to understand since it wasn't as personal for me, but it is very personal for me because what the Zionists tortured me. So there's a little game going on there and the shift of role playing. People who attacked me used to say, "You think you're better than us." Well, Pittsburgh's FBI doesn't have a whole lot going for it. They can't reason carefully. That attacking the icon isn't gnawing a rug. It's asking a question about the sinister semiotics that are pro-Axis, pro-Clucker, and the shift to an arc that got a smokescreen from accusations of racism. People say, well, why didn't you take the letters? I mean, I was too attenuated, brainwashed to believe that the Jews were our friends. So I didn't believe Gail Burston was behind what she was behind. So, but I remember studying with Nasser at Temple, and he was saying Slom, and I pronounced it Slom once on a bus when a black kid came up to me and said, "What you doing with the good book, brother?" He said, "'Tain't Slom, it's Slam." So, you know, what they do is they role play, never believe the idea that Howard Stern and Frank Zappa and Larry Flint believed in free speech. They did not. They were basically pushing freedom of speech to the point where they could say everybody has a limit. There's all kinds of fighting words. Chaos brokers is all these evil people are. That's all they are. So what they do is they role play. This is about the rich melon white people up on the golf course with their snazzy sports cars. It's not about black studies at Temple University, no. They used Bobby Seale, and he's got a thick head. So he's not never going to admit that. To say that the sports car for the white is just out for you know what, and let's torture it and immolate it. They did this. I'll tell you what they did to a girl who was petrified of them and showed it. They started getting off on how scared she was, and they poured gas on her, lit her on fire, and murdered her. She was about 9 or 10 years old. And you see this proclivity, not just in Pittsburgh, but it comes out in what Israel's doing, where they start getting off on hurting people. So when you hear somebody saying he's trying to pull something or he's trying to get something for, it's the union covering madness. It's not irrational. It's not unethical, and it's not immoral to pay a deaf man for his work. Your peep show does not contradict my public service in exposing genocide pornography. It doesn't. You can make wangles of kuntu car show theater to profess that it does and put on little ceremonial drama club scenes, like when I was in Wilkinsburg, a guy hops in the back of my car with his gas can. I get in the police, but I can't get to go home because I need to go get some gas. The gas station, brother. I get in the police. That was a setup. I'm not talking getting me some gas. I don't care if he's procreating with his girlfriend, but this is the mentality that they were saying they're attacking me for. The idea that a man can live with a girl on Skid Row in peace and mean it when he says he loves her. Oh, they were like, oh, she's too pretty for him to really be in love with her. So they do cosmetic damage to me. Yeah, this is like pouring acid on a beauty queen's face for them. The real mentality that you don't hurt other people is lost on these pilgrims of equity. They make up that I hurt them because I never hurt any of them. They just make it up. And they attribute things that happened to them to me when I had nothing to do with it. They call it Louis twisting his ankle because the devil worshiper had a foreign thought. He was a traitor of the heart, and it conjured a bird from Yankee bleachers where some immigrant got in. And by the butterfly effect, it traveled the android zone and traversed the voodoo of the chameleon sensations, of the overwhelming factuality of the Netanyahu Taliban. And Santorum said, that's enough, freeze. We must execute this play. It had nothing whatsoever to do with me. It's homogenary, they call it. Homogenary. And it comes from the floating uterus of the women around Yoko Ono, like Tony Levin and Penis Gabriel. I mean, these people thrive on pretending. And they don't care about anything. They don't care about our Commonwealth. They don't care about our schools. They don't care about our children. They do not care about anything. Money isn't even, they make money the issue, but it's hatred of the other's money. It has nothing to do with protecting their own. They have mounds of money. They just can't stand the idea of any kind of fair play or acceptance of the other. It drives them berserk. They ravage the carpets. I mean, they had when Jill heard the Toya was coming in a secret diplomacy to the Lincoln Room, she said, "Oh no, we just changed the carpets there."